Harley Day at K-State. It's the 24th year of this tradition as you're watching the Big 12 on ESPN. This raises money for the Ahern Scholarship Fund. Iowa State, K-State, ready to go. First, let's check in with Tiffany.
Guys, tonight will be Kansas State quarterback Skylar Thompson's second game back since suffering that right knee injury in week 2 of the season. But being fresh off the bye week, Thompson told me it fell at a really great time for me. He said just getting that extra week to get healthy and to continue to build that confidence in my knee. He said, I feel confident and like I'm getting back to my normal self. And guys, we'll see firsthand just how limited he might be with that knee brace on in terms of mobility, but still good news for Kansas State.
He ran a lot week 1 against Stanford, only once against Oklahoma. How much does he have to run tonight?
I think he has to at least a little bit, Clay. Mobility is a huge part of his game. He's got to run at least enough where Iowa State's D has to respect it.
Chris Kleiman in his 3rd year at K-State, 54 years old. He's a Waterloo, Iowa native. Still very optimistic despite the 0-2 Big 12 start. And Matt Campbell turns 42 next month, 3-time Big 12 Coach of the Year. This is the only place in this conference he has yet to win. Ty Zentner is going to kick it off as Iowa State won the toss. They want the football right away in Brock Purdy's hands. Jalen Null, Jyrell Brock back deep, and we're underway from the Little Apple. And the Clones are going to start at the 25-yard line. Brock Purdy, 6'1", 220 pounds, a senior out of Gilbert, Arizona. The winningest quarterback in Cyclones history, 26 career wins, but again, he hasn't won here yet.
That's right, and he started off this season kind of slow, Clay, and I think that was due to injuries to Breece Hall and Charlie Kohler, also some high expectations coming in, but a couple weeks ago, the last game they played versus Kansas really settled in and started playing the way he's used to playing.
Iowa State could be 5-0, but some costly turnovers against Iowa. Struggled finishing drives at Baylor. Some special teams mistakes in both. They're hoping for a fast start tonight. And they'll go to their star, Breece Hall, and it's a big run. Look out. Hall is loose. 30, 20, could go, and he will. Touchdown on the first play from scrimmage, Breece Hall.
Rolling on the field, touchdown.
What a punch in the mouth.
Right out of the gate, Clay, they pack everybody, all of K-State's defense inside of phone booth, lead a couple blockers around those tight ends. He loves to run behind, little stutter, and then boom, off to the races. And that's a 220-pound man running like that, Clay. And, you know, Kansas State, they go to that 3 down front defense this year to try to help themselves out. Did not help them out on that play right there.
Andrew Mevis is going to come on for the point after for the Cyclones. I mean, people are still getting into their seats, and it's already 7-0 as Breece Hall rumbles 75 yards for a touchdown. That's 18 straight games now with a rushing touchdown for Hall, a Big 12 record. And that's his 9th rushing touchdown of the year.
And he's another guy, Clay, start off the year injured, but he's back to full speed. That Baylor game, he really emerged, and now he's just doing the things he's been doing since 2019. Just an explosive running back. And again, this is a conference, you see a lot of 3 down fronts because they like to throw the ball, right? Well, in comes Breece Hall and just punches you in the mouth. Matt Campbell loves it.
Breece Hall, a Wichita, Kansas native, back in his home state tonight. Over 1,500 yards last year, the first unanimous All-American in Iowa State history, and just the start that the Cyclones wanted to have. Talked about the slow start to the year. Felt like they got some momentum in that win over Kansas, put up a lot of points early in that game, and went on to rout the Jayhawks. And were almost disappointed that they were going on bye because they felt that they'd gotten some momentum back.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Even Matt Campbell said as much. They really kind of fell into a rhythm. Again, high expectations coming off that 9-3 season. The Fiesta Bowl win just didn't start off it the way they wanted, but they're rolling now.
Here's Malik Knowles. He's going to get a chance to return. So dangerous. He's got 2 kickoff return touchdowns this year. Got to the near sideline, and the kicker Mevis runs him out. near the 35-yard line. We even wondered if Matt Campbell would kick to him tonight.
I'm surprised they kicked to him. I really were. I mean, he has 3 this year, 2 in the last 2 games. Really a weapon. Also, we'll see him at wide receiver for Kansas State.
So Skylar Thompson, the 6th-year senior, brings the Wildcat offense out. 34th career start. He is the face of the program, and we'll keep an eye on that injured right knee.
6th year. He knows this offense inside and out.
He's got Deuce Vaughn in the backfield, and he will get a touch right away. Vaughn spinning as the crowd cheers Deuce. It's Kamani King making the first stop for this Iowa State defense, which went to a 3-3-5 back in 2017, and it has been working great.
It really has, but Deuce Vaughn, that small size, okay, yeah, maybe it affects his durability and this and that, but also he's so small, Clay. He just hides behind those offensive line, and then before you know it, boom, he's jumping that thing to the outside.
It's only his 16th career game, but already one of the best backs, especially all-purpose in K-State history. He gets it again. He is stood up at the 40-yard line and driven down. Mike Rose, number 23, last year's Big 12 Defensive Player of the Year, gets credit for that stop. It's 3rd down.
Love watching Mike Rose. He's got length. He's 6'4". He's 250. He can play out in space. One of those guys, too, we'll see, Clay, one of the most impressive things to me, he gets off blocks better than any linebacker I have seen this whole year.
This is a top 5 defense nationally for Iowa State. Trying to get off the field here on 3rd down. Empty backfield for Thompson. Sets to throw over the middle, and it's broken up by Sheen Young. The excellent physical safety knocked it away from Imatter Bebe, and it's 4th down. The Cats will have to punt.
Ishim Young, a great player, just a sophomore. He may have the toughest job on this defense, Clay, because one play like this, he's covering a tight end man-to-man. The next play, he's playing middle of the field. Next play, he may have to cover the A-gap in the run game. An exceptional player, number 1. Nice job.
So John Haycock's defense passes its first test. Good punt here from Ty Zentner, the veteran punter from Topeka, but he outkicked his coverage. It goes into the end zone. And the Cyclones already leading 7-0. Get it back. We're not even 2 minutes into this football game here in Manhattan. One of the trailblazers here at K-State being honored tonight, Burl Schweitzer, first black scholarship student athlete to graduate from K-State, and one of the best punt returners in school history. He was just an all-around terrific athlete. Drafted 4th overall by the Green Bay Packers in the first round of the 1954 NFL Draft. He let the Cats out of their cage tonight, opening the door, and he just moments ago got a rousing round of applause from this sellout crowd here in Manhattan. Breece Hall in the backfield for Iowa State on the first play from scrimmage on the opening series, a 75-yard touchdown. And he'll get a couple on his encore run as Eli Huggins makes the tackle, but Hall with an impressive burst on that opening series.
And that's the thing about him. For a big back, he's like, oh, we got to kind of hammer us in there and be ready for him to try to run over us, but he's got that speed to leave you. And I remember, Coach told us this week, like once a week he does something that's totally unbelievable athletically. Or throwing the ball, kicking the ball, running it. He's a great athlete.
2nd down and 8 as Xavier Hutchinson goes in motion. Purdy off his back foot. That was tipped, I believe, at the line. It still ends up caught by Charlie Kohler, the 2-time All-American tight end. It's going to be short of the first down marker by a couple of yards. 3rd down.
So many weapons for this Iowa State team. Got Breece Hall, who we just saw. And then Charlie Kohler, a 6'6" tight end. You got another 6'7" tight end, and Chase Allen. Got some wide receivers, a lot of weapons for Brock Purdy. You also got to watch number 8, Xavier Hutchinson, the wide receiver, bottom of the screen. He's a go-to guy on 3rd down for Brock.
Chase Allen in the backfield, the other tight end. And this time Hall is bottled up and swallowed up at the 26. Felix Anudike Uzama leading the charge, and it's 4th down.
And it was also Daniel Green, Clay, the linebacker. They sold out. This was a run blitz. They were expecting run the whole way. Great call by Joe Clanderman, the defensive coordinator. See them blitz this thing. You see 22 come in, just mess that thing up in the backfield before Uzama can take him down. Great job, good stop by K-State.
Well, this is the #1 rush defense in the Big 12. It came into the night allowing 86 rushing yards per game. They gave up 75 in that first series. You know they were a little salty.
And I think that's what they got to do, Clay. You got to blitz this run game here. You can't sit back and wait for Breece Hall.
Phillip Brooks calling for the fair catch on that punt from Cameron Shook.
Come out on the field.
K-State down a touchdown. We'll get it back when we come back to Manhattan. First start for a guy named Carson Wentz in that game. And Chris Kleiman, of course, had quite a run in Fargo. 4 FCS titles in 5 years.
He's a great coach. And, you know, last year was tough. I mean, COVID hit K-State hard, right?
Yeah.
You know, just a tough thing for a coach in that situation. But he's really doing a good job continuing the tradition of special teams being important.
They started out 3-0, but coming off back-to-back losses to Oklahoma State and Oklahoma. Here's a good run for Deuce Vaughn. He's going to be close to a first down on that first down carry. They've been relying on the run game here so far, which has been the bread and butter for K-State, even though they threw it around a ton against Oklahoma.
And Clay, I think they have to run the ball here. They don't need the explosive runs. They need 4 yards here, they need 5 yards there, because the other thing that does is it keeps Brock Purdy and that Iowa State offense on the sideline.
Joe Irvin is going to check in now, the backup running back to Deuce Vaughn out of Rock Hill, South Carolina. Brooks goes with motion. A play fake. Thompson standing tall in the pocket and through the hands of the receiver, and it's picked off. Intended for Malik Knowles, intercepted by Greg Eisworth. And he brings it back to the 48-yard line, close to midfield, and Thompson throws his 3rd interception of the year.
And he had time to throw, and it looked like mechanically everything was good. He followed through, pushed off the back foot. The ball just happened to sail on him a little bit. It's a little bit higher. He wanted to get it up high there for Malik Knowles. Malik Knowles is 6'3", but just a little bit too high. And this awesome Iowa State defense capitalizes. You mentioned it, Clay. He was so good versus Oklahoma. Last time they played, didn't run around much, but was very efficient passing. Had the 3 touchdowns. That one just got away from him.
Second big play of this football game already for Iowa State. The touchdown run for Hall, and now the interception, which puts them near midfield to start this drive. It's Hall again, bouncing to the outside. Stays on his feet. There were 3 K-State tacklers that had a shot at him, but he's able to get to the sideline. Russ Yeast is the one who pushed him out.
And I think that's what you got to do against Breece Hall. You don't let him turn up and get those shoulders square. Just keep forcing him to sideline. Spill that. Okay, Reggie missed the tackle there. Yeast misses one, but just keep forcing that thing lateral to the sideline. That's how you stop Breece Hall.
He gets 4 yards on that carry. 2nd down and 6. Purdy going to the outside. That is caught by Tariq Milton, the veteran wide receiver out of Bradenton, Florida. That's a first down.
That was a beautiful pass right there. Brock Purdy had a lot of time. That's just, he looked confident in that throw.
It's a gain of 17 to the 31 of K-State. Well, with some tempo here, Breece Hall again. And the offensive line for Iowa State, how does it stack up to the rest of the Big 12?
I mean, they average 317 pounds. This is a big offensive line, and they really like to mash people, like to lay in. You see big number 54 there. That's Jared Hufford. You got some big boys up there. And again, this conference is usually more known for passing and throwing the ball around the yard. They like to pack you in and pound you.
Purdy's going to climb up under center. Colin Newell on 2nd down and 5. Play action. Purdy going to the end zone and just out of the reach of the tight end, Charlie Kohler. Led him by maybe a step too much. So it's 3rd down.
and Purdy under center there. You don't see him under center that much, but I think they really want to try to sell. The play action game is so much better when that quarterback is under center. He just happened to overthrow his target a little bit.
And Kohler might be the best tight end in the country. He was a finalist for the Mackey Award last year. He's such a quality playmaker at that position.
Got those two big, tall tight ends this area of the field.
Jirel Brock is in the backfield. He picks up the block, thrown out to the wide receiver Hutchinson. And that's going to be close to the first down, maybe a little bit short, and it'll be 4th and a couple of feet.
There's great recognition by Brock Purdy, because they lined up Reggie Stubblefield, their best cover. Safety's going to play a little more linebacker today, right over top of Xavier Hutchinson, looking like man coverage. Then Stubblefield blitzed. Just the pass just wasn't able to get there.
Matt Campbell is going to keep his offense out on the field. He's got a couple of field goal kickers he's been using this year. Both have been really good, Andrew Mevis and Connor Asali.
I think they're going to call a timeout here.
We're going to talk about it.
Timeout. Iowa State. First down.
Iowa State with a touchdown lead here in the first quarter. They're looking for more. How are they going to try and get more points? We'll find out in a minute. ESPN College Football Primetime presented by Sonos. Early decision here for Matt Campbell in the first quarter, going for it here on 4th and about a foot. He's got one of the best running backs in the country. He's already having a good night. Why not go for it?
Absolutely. 4th and less than a yard. Run game is your identity. Heck yeah, I like this call.
Already a 75-yard touchdown run tonight for Hall. Trying to keep this drive alive from the 22 of K-State. Flag. And this might be a false start on the Clones.
False start. Number 43. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Step left out.
The fullback, Jared Russ, moving early.
And that's one of the downsides, Clay, of all this shifting in motion this Iowa State team does. It's great. It keeps the defense off balance. They're a little bit hesitant on what their gaps are, but down here deep like this, I don't think you do too much messing around. I think you hand the ball to Breece Hall and pick up the first down.
Iowa State doesn't hurt itself very often. They rank 7th nationally in fewest penalties this year. That's just their 24th of the season. So now Andrew Mevis comes out for a 44-yard attempt. And it's good. Well, Matt Campbell talked about needing to finish drives. They attempted 4 field goals at Baylor, a game they lost by a couple of points. They don't finish that drive, but they do get 3.
They do, but that's a missed opportunity, and Matt Campbell knows it. And again, I think the call with all the motion and shifting going on maybe just got them a little bit antsy right there. 4th and less than a yard, just line up and say, we're running the ball right here, you try to stop it.
Well, kick off your Week 6 NFL Sunday at 10 a.m. Eastern with the Countdown crew on ESPN. All the news and previews right up to kickoff. How about former K-State great Tyler Lockett leading the Seahawks in receiving? They're going to face Pittsburgh tomorrow night.
Great one. Out of K-State, they had a lot of good ones. Darren Sproles, we'll talk about him. He's a resemblance to Deuce Vaughn, K-State's current running back. A lot of good players that come out of this program.
Well, despite a couple of losses, K-State and Iowa State both feel like they have a lot to accomplish yet here in the Big 12 season. Now K-State, how did they respond? They've got Malik Knowles, who's a game changer, back to return this kick.
I wouldn't kick it to him.
2 kickoff return touchdowns this year. He's going to field it on the hop. Knowles. Good return out across the 35, stopped short of the 40, but man, he can move.
I don't know why you kick it to the guy. I'm perfectly happy kicking the ball over to the other side of the field, or even just driving that thing down the middle. I mean, they rely so much on special teams, and he just has that vision. He just has a knack for the kick return game. I wouldn't mess around with that much more if I were Iowa State.
They're going to mark it at the 36, so a 28-yard return officially for Knowles. And I will see if Skylar Thompson can get something going. He's yet to complete a pass yet tonight.
Yeah, he's really got to settle in here. I'd give him an easy throw, try to get him in the flow.
Run it on first down with Vaughn. And he'll hop close to the 40-yard line as we go down to Tiffany Blackman.
You guys talked about it earlier about Vaughn being able to hide behind some guys there. Well, when I spoke to him, he told me his little motto is, if you can't see the linebackers, they can't see you. So he feels like he's got that elusiveness quality, and he said it helps him to slip away and avoid tackles, guys.
No, there's no question about it. I played linebacker my whole life, and when you're looking back in the backfield, where's he at? Where's he at? And all of a sudden, boom, he just explodes out to one side. That's a tough deal.
And despite being 5'6", 170, he's proven to be very durable. This is Joe Irvin now getting a carry. And it's going to be third down and a couple. Deuce Vaughn had 3 straight 100-yard rushing games to start the year. Also a great receiver. 10 catches for 104 yards against the Sooners.
That may be the best part of his game, is putting him out in the slot receiver. I know there's no linebacker or safety that wants to go out and cover him in space. He's so good when he's out there all by himself.
They'll feed Joe Irvin again, looking for leverage on the near side, a little stiff arm, and he's got the first down carry. As T.J. Tampa, the starting corner, just moved into the starting role this week for the Cyclones, escorted him out. First down, K-State.
Good old-fashioned sweep play right there. Got the fullback, Deneen, leading the way, picking up the first down. Still haven't seen Skylar Thompson involved in this run game at all. Again, a big part of his game. He's had the knee injury. He's got the brace he's still getting used to. I think he's got to at least show it to be a threat today.
Deuce Vaughn back in the backfield for K-State. Thompson, some pressure right up the middle. He's in trouble, and he's going to throw it away. That's going to be incomplete now. Iowa State wants intentional grounding. I don't know if they're going to get it.
He was just outside the pocket if he was.
Yeah, now they just finally threw the flag.
I mean, he's got to get outside the tackle box. Did the ball get to the line of scrimmage, Clay? I do not believe it did. I think that may have drew the penalty.
Yep. Eni Uwazurike, the defensive tackle for Iowa State, made that play blow up.
It was a great line stunt there, a little twist. And when the guard came off to get the guy who was stunting, they left big number 58 there free. He came in as a nice rush.
So that's a 13-yard loss, 2nd and 23 now for the Wildcats. They have yet to get on track offensively. Deuce Vaughn has a block, and they spring him across midfield. Aishin Young makes the tackle, but Vaughn gets into plus territory.
We talked about the patience and him hiding behind the line, right? Well, how about you hide behind your 6'6", 317-pound guard, Revis, right there. Look, just kind of hiding, patient, boom, then hit it. And a great lead block out there in front. That's how you do it. Textbook.
5 carries for Vaughn now, 39 yards. As we go under 5 minutes here in the opening quarter, 10-0 Iowa State. Kansas State looking for its first Big 12 win of 2021. Here's Irvin right up the middle. Joe Irvin. A little bigger than Vaughn.
He's a little bit bigger, but the biggest difference is he hits that thing downhill. Just from 0 to 60 coming out of the backfield, he just hits that hole a little bit harder, more downhill than Deuce Vaughn does.
He opted out last year. His best game came against Nevada, 82 yards and a touchdown on 11 carries. Gets the first down. And finally, K-State has a little momentum. Thompson, a little play fake. All kinds of time to throw, goes deep and has a man. It is caught, touchdown. Phillip Brooks. A 40-yard touchdown catch, and K-State is back in this game.
And Clay, what a beauty. They saw the matchup they wanted. Their best wide receiver, Brooks, on the safety, Kamani King, and then Skylar Thompson getting outside the pocket. Get away from the garbage, get a good look at the field, good view, and then an absolute dime to Brooks. Exceptional throw by Skylar Thompson.
Connor's first touchdown of the year against the Sooners. Gets his second here tonight. The extra point from Tatum Winkle is good. They had to get Brooks going. That was one of the keys tonight. They finally do here late in the first.
And he's usually one of those guys, Clay, he's really good at finding space. This time it was just one-on-one. He outran the guy covering him. Just created separation. He's trying to catch up and he can't. Phillip Brooks showing off the speed. Little double move, get the defensive back's hips flipped, and it's all it takes. Just that little split second of time that defensive back's hips flip one way, boom, you cut the other way, touchdown.
5'6", 5'7". You don't have to be tall to be a star at K-State.
That's right, that's right. I mean, look, Iowa State out there, their offensive weapons are all 6'3", 6'6". They got some smaller guys out there for K-State.
That's been a bit of a quarterback shuffle at Kansas State. Skylar Thompson got injured against Southern Illinois. Will Howard and Jaron Lewis running the show against Nevada and Oklahoma State. There's no doubt about it, Rocky. This is a more refined offense with Skylar Thompson, the veteran, the sixth-year senior out of Independence, Missouri. We saw what he did against Oklahoma, found a rhythm throwing the football. If he gets completely healthy, and they hope he does before the end of the season, this is a scary football team.
No question about it. He's going to have that knee brace on the whole rest of the year. He's got to get used to it, but a great throw right there.
Here's the true freshman, Jalen Null, on the return. He'll get it across the 20 as we go to the studio and check in with Kevin Connors for the first time. Hey, Kev.
Hey, Clay, this studio update brought to you by Rocket Mortgage. We wondered who would start for Oklahoma. We found out at kickoff it'd be Caleb Williams. Golick, how's that gone?
6 for 6, 88 yards, and a touchdown. Pass go, collect $200.
14-0 Sooners, Clay, over on ABC.
Yeah, Oklahoma.
How about that?
To a great start against TCU. You got to wonder what's going to happen now at the top of the AP poll, because Iowa losing today, things are going to change.
Something's going to shuffle there. Bearcats, who are number 3 in the country, they rolled big over UCF. There'll be some shuffling here this week.
Low snap, Purdy able to recover, and he'll dump it off to Hall. Breece Hall, a very good receiving back. He kind of slipped on the turf at around the 27-yard line, and it'll be second down there.
And a turf monster likes to hang out right around that Big 12 logo. I think that's what got Breece Hall. And you hope he creeps up a little bit more if you're Kansas State. He's a tough guy to bring down.
When we were talking with the coaching staff about Brock Purdy this week, they say he's such an elite competitor, occasionally a little too wound up at the start of games. The sooner he relaxes, the better. And of course, a 75-yard touchdown run on the first play will settle any quarterback down. That's going to be right up the middle for Breece as McPherson makes the tackle.
And you mentioned it, he's competitive almost to a fault, is what Matt Campbell was saying. It means so much to him that he was, again, pressing early on in that season. I think through a couple games. Remember, well, the Iowa game, he got yanked in the fourth quarter after his third turnover, but he's really settling in and looking good. Yeah,
it wasn't vintage Brock Purdy against Iowa or Baylor, but was excellent against Kansas. 245 passing, 4 touchdowns. Those 4 touchdowns all came in the first quarter. Here's Hall, and did he get the first down? K-State doesn't think so. It's going to depend on the spot. Reggie Stubblefield and Anyudike Uzama combine on that stop.
Anyudike Uzama, what an exceptional play, just pinching down inside, but being able to get upfield to stop Breece Hall, that's not an easy thing to do. You also mentioned Reggie Stubblefield off the edge as well. Yeah, there you see pinching right through. And Anyudike Uzama, the Big 12 leader in 3 categories: sacks, tackles for loss, forced fumbles. He is an absolute monster on that D-line for K-State.
Second punt for Cameron Shook, the transfer from Navy. who took over the punting duties against Kansas. And not a great kick, as goes sideways at about the 42. Well, Taco Bell welcomes you to the Live Moss Student Section of the Year contest. Use hashtag Student Section Sauce to get the committee's attention, and go to ESPN.com/Taco Bell to see how your school can compete.
And that is the second time tonight on a surefire run play in a big moment. Kansas State has just brought the pressure. They're not going to sit back and say, oh, we're just going to try to run around and play our gaps and try to bottle up Breece Hall. No, they're going to attack it. They're going to blitz some safeties. They're going to bring some defensive linemen. And it's really working so far.
That was a bad punt for Shook. Punting has been an issue for Iowa State. It's a good field position to start this drive for the Cats. And there's Cade Warner, the Nebraska transfer, just his third catch of the year. He is the son of the Hall of Famer Kurt Warner, and that's a gain of 5 on first down.
And you mentioned the bad punt there. I mean, versus Baylor, special teams cost Iowa State that game. They had a missed field goal, they gave up a kick return for a touchdown, they had a muff punt, they gave up a long punt return. That's something they really focused on during that bye week.
Second down and 5. Thompson will turn and hand off. Vaughn will be stopped as he crosses the midfield stripe. Aisheem Young, he is a safety by definition, but he plays like a linebacker.
He really does. As I said, he's got the toughest job on this defense. He's got to play the middle of the field sometimes. He's got to cover a guy, and then there you see him. He's also got to give him that run game. You're asking a safety to come up and play the A-gap. Not many players can do that. That's a long distance to cover. But as a young kid, just a redshirt sophomore, he's one of the best ones.
Philadelphia native, a freshman All-American last year. Iowa State trying to get off the field here on third down. And they won't. That's a completion out to Brooks. First down catch. As Phillip Brooks is having himself a game here so far, and that very well may be the last play of the first quarter.
Off coverage, Kamani King, the safety, playing way off of Brooks. That's easy pickings right there.
Meeting for the 105th consecutive season. Iowa State and K-State, both teams coming off bye. This is the season's defining stretch run starting tonight. 10-7. Cyclones after 1. Skylar Thompson did not play last year against Iowa State in that 45-0 bloodbath where the Wildcats got beat up bad in Ames. He's thrown a touchdown here tonight. He's also thrown an interception. As Deuce Vaughn gets the run here on first down from the 42-yard line. Pickup of 3.
And the only thing we really haven't seen Skylar do yet tonight is run the ball. We talked about that's a big part of his game. And, you know, partner, as I look at this, I'm starting to feel that K-State may be content to not run him out in the field, but watch for down inside the 10-yard line. That's where he's really dangerous. They may want to save him for down that area of the field.
And he's got that brace on that right knee. Getting healthier every day. Out of the shotgun. Looks left, throws left. There's Knowles with the catch, steps out of a tackle. He's got a first down and more. Out near the 22-yard line. Mike Rose is going to get him out. But it's a pickup of 17, and here comes K-State.
And he's a guy you got to respect his speed, so you play off. Well, and then what? He catches the ball. He's such a hard guy to bring down. You can't tackle him out in open space. I wouldn't want to do that. Number 4, again, he's got the jets, but that big body, big frame, 6'3", 200 pounds. He's a weapon.
That's his first catch tonight. He's been great on special teams. They just want to get him going on offense now.
He's off to a good start.
See the numbers on Thompson. Vaughn splits out as a receiver. Thompson over the middle, looking to the end zone, and the crowd wants a penalty flag. We don't see one. Lands incomplete. It was intended for Tyrone Howell. Craig McDonald was in coverage. Now, was he bumping him early, Rocky? That's the question.
It looked like he may have had his right hand around the shoulder pads. There, you see that hand right there? I don't know. If he gets his head around, it's definitely not a penalty. I like to let him play a little bit. I don't know if that was such an egregious penalty there.
What side of the ball did you play on again?
You know it, defense.
Always getting the benefit of the doubt to the defense. Second down and 10, and now they're going to throw a flag. Play is stopped.
False start, number 50. Offense, 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
Scott Campbell, our lead official tonight. Cooper Beebe, left tackle.
And this is what we talked about what K-State cannot do. They got to just keep the chains moving. Long drives, 4 yards here, 5 yards there. These negative plays are what's really going to hurt them.
There's Chris Kleiman. Won 8 games his first year, K-State, only 4 last year. Thompson throws it low to Brooks, makes the catch, gets loose to the 10, lost the football. Fumbles it out of bounds near the 5-yard line. Brooks could have taken it in, perhaps, but he didn't have the pigskin.
What an exceptional play the whole way, though, before the fumble. I mean, that ball is really low. He has to go down and really get that thing. It may have hit the turf. I don't know. They may want to take a look at that one. K-State fans aren't going to like it, but that ball, I think, hit the ground.
Fumble out of bounds. The ball returned to the fumble spot. First down.
I know, actually, they're going to look at where he fumbled the ball, I guess.
The ruling on the field is a first down. Previous play is under further review.
Now we're looking at it, yeah.
And that call came from upstairs, I'm sure. Our replay official is Jeff Hansen tonight. Going to look at it again, make sure this was even a completion.
And what you're looking for is the hands underneath the football. You know, and the ground can be a part of the conversation, but it can't aid in the catch. And that ball, looked like that thing hit the ground and bounced up in his hands. That's close, but I think one like that, you really like to see him get his hands. If his hands were underneath the football, between the ground and the ball, they may give it to him, but I don't know. Now, the fact that it was called a catch on the field really plays into this. Is there indisputable video evidence?
I think there is.
I think there is. In my opinion, that ball's on the ground.
But that doesn't take away from the fact that Deuce Vaughn is a great receiver on top of his running back abilities as a ball carrier. No Wildcat has ever had 1,000 career rushing yards and 1,000 career receiving yards. He came into the game needing 360 receiving yards to get over 1,000. He went over 1,000 yards rushing earlier this year. I mean, he is a great all-purpose back.
No doubt about it. I think Chris Kleiman is trying to get some clarification about what's going on there.
After review, the ball hit the ground. It's an incomplete pass. It's going to be third down.
Yeah, I think that's a good call there by our booth officials, bringing that one back.
So now third down and long. This K-State offense under second-year offensive coordinator Courtney Messingham, 32 years in coaching, including 3 years at Iowa State.
And this is where you wonder, are they going to go for it on fourth down? Well, if you do, you got to get at least half of it here.
And now timeout called by the Cyclones.
Timeout.
So this game is slowed
Second of the half.
to a stop with 12:52 to go here in the first half. All right, Kevin. Yeah, Alabama, you got to imagine they're pretty salty after last week.
No letdown by that team.
So we've got K-State. After that play was reversed at the 27-yard line. Third down and 15. And Skylar Thompson will swing Deuce Vaughn over to the right side, and he's going to run to the left. Good call. Deuce got to the sideline, short of the first down marker. It's going to be fourth down, but they got a good chunk to make this a pretty easy field goal attempt, you would think, for Tate and Winkle.
Yeah, that was a gutsy run right there by Vaughn. Quick hitter, kicks that thing to the outside, set him up for the field goal.
So Tatum Winkle, the JUCO transfer from Butler Community College, he's been solid, 6 for 7, a long of 45 this year. This will be from 33 yards out to tie the game. And he pushed it to the right, no good. Just the second miss this year for Winkle, and it stays a 3-point contest.
Yeah, I mean, special teams historically has always been a big part of Kansas State's success. Had a decent drive. Like to cap that thing off with points. Matt Campbell says, all right, boys, here we go.
Brock Purdy 4 for 5, 32 yards passing. Breece Hall 89 yards rushing and a touchdown already. He'll get another toad here on first down. Stubblefield steps up to make the stop, the grad transfer from Prairie View A&M, who has battled injuries all year.
Now, I've said it before, but Kansas State's doing a good job of penetrating. You got to have that if you're going to run this 3 down front. You can't just sit back there and catch blocks and wait on a guy like Breece Hall. You got to shoot that thing.
Play action, Purdy going deep down the middle and looking for Milton, and it's incomplete. He wanted Tariq Milton, but Russ Yeast, the transfer from Louisville, was right there to defend.
Exceptional job there by Yeast. I mean, that's a tough play. Tough play. First, you see Brock Purdy. He takes a shot, and this ball, Clay, just hangs up in the air for a long, long time. Russ Yeast does a good job staying in phase, doesn't commit the penalty, then knocking it away. Excellent.
How about the pressure there from Eli Huggins, too, playing a bigger role tonight because of all the injuries on that defensive line for K-State. Put a pretty good smack on Purdy. Purdy to throw again. This time he's right on the screws to Charlie Kohler, out across the 35-yard line for a first down.
Charlie Kohler, such a weapon. I mean, the size, the speed. I mean, he's obviously going to play in the NFL one day. And they put him everywhere. It's hard to get a gauge. You know, he'll be on the line of scrimmage. He'll be out in the slot. He'll be on the wing. Tough job.
Going with a little tempo now. Purdy trying to run to the outside, and that was read well by Ross Elder, the strong safety out of Kansas City.
Great job by Elder filling right there. And this is a big part of Brock Purdy's game, is running. I think they need to run him more. We saw it a little bit more against Kansas, but he was watching safety, a lot of space, and then just the closing speed. Bang, pick it up. Don't slow down, don't break down, shoot it. Good job.
Second and 10. Caught by Hall, but he's cut down quickly by Stubblefield. Boy, they said getting Stubblefield back this week and getting him closer to 100% healthy is such a key for them defensively.
Yeah, and he's got the hand injury. He's got some other things going on health-wise. He was able to, you know, kind of get some help, some rest during that bye week, but that's not a fun thing to play with right there. You got
no.
3 of your fingers locked up inside that cast, and he's still out there flying around. I love it.
Third and 5, some pressure coming. Got rid of it. Complete for a first down to Jalen Noel. The true freshman slot receiver, man, his role continues to increase.
And Clay, I think it needs to, because everyone focuses in on Charlie Kohler and Xavier Hutchinson. They need another weapon to kind of emerge there in that pass game, especially from the wide receiver spot. Noel's that guy.
It's a gain of 6 and a first down. Cyclones going up tempo, and it's paying off. There's another first down inside the 30-yard line. That's Xavier Hutchinson.
This is a good job. They get a little trip set out there. You get your big blocking tight end, Charlie Kohler, out there shoving a DB around, and then the explosion after the catch. Nice job.
Now the very patient Breece Hall. Man, he is just waiting and buying his time. Didn't pick up much on that run, but the patience of that runner is impressive. Let's go down to Tiffany.
Yeah, guys, I talked with Cody Fletcher, the linebacker from Kansas State. He told me that what jumps out to him about Breece Hall is just how patient he is. He said he's one of the most patient runners I've ever seen, and he's really powerful up top. It's really hard to tackle him, he said.
3 straight 100-yard games for Hall, including a career-best 190 at Baylor. Purdy wanting to throw again. He's completed his last 4 in a row. There's a penalty marker down. Purdy still moving, finds an open receiver. It is caught by Hall, and he'll back out of bounds. Now, what's the flag about?
Offense, 10-yard penalty, still second down.
That's the right tackle, Derek Schweiger, wiping out that first down reception.
Yeah, you know, it's a tough thing for an offensive lineman because you don't know where the quarterback is. Is he scrambling? Is he staying in the pocket? This time Purdy escapes, and that right-handed Schweiger, you'll see, the defensive end goes in. He doesn't know if Purdy's going to stay in there or go to the outside. He does, and then you see the right-hand hook. You talk to his offensive lineman. Look, it's a great weapon to have a quarterback who can run around, but sometimes it makes it really tough on the O-line knowing where he is.
Schweiger, a former walk-on, was all Big 12 last year. So after the penalty, Cyclones back to their 37 on second down. Man open, it's null. The freshman down to the 10-yard line. Good throw, great catch, 27 yards, and here's Iowa State knocking on the door.
And you know Kansas State came into this game, Clay, and they're saying, look, we got to stop Kohler, we got to stop Hutchinson. So what does Iowa State do? They sneak their freshman wide receiver Null out there in the middle of the field. And that's just great play calling there. You know the defense is loading up on some of those more big-name guys. Well, let's get the ball to the freshman here. And
they couldn't say enough about the rookie this week when we talked to the coaching staff. 10th play of the drive now for Iowa State. A drive that's already covered 69 yards. Hall picking his way inside the 10. Down to the 7-yard line. Wayne Jones, the Sam linebacker, converted safety, made that tackle.
And this was a good job of Hall. Tiffany just talked about the patience. They blitz the linebacker, Austin Moore. He comes in there, and boop, just a little sidestep. They come right back inside. A little fancy footwork there by Breece Hall. That's why he's one of the best.
Now, Iowa State has already had to settle for a field goal attempt tonight, trying to finish this drive just ahead of halftime.
Tight end's very involved down here.
Here comes Hall again. Breece Hall backs his way inside the 5, down to the 3. He is hard to bring down on first contact.
He's a 220-pound back. That's a big man running the football. And again, the guy that you know, he also has the speed, so you got to respect that. And just about the time you're waiting back on it, then he lowers the hammer on you.
So he goes over 100 yards rushing for the 4th straight game. As the clock ticks under 6 minutes here in the first half.
Everything open here. Got the run to Breece Hall. You also have the tight ends involved down here.
Hall to the goal line. Stopped just short. But I think he may have gotten the first down.
Attacker number 98, Timmy Ward.
Again, this is going to depend on the spot. Now they're going to have to measure. The first measurement of the night.
And I like that play call better down this area of the field than when they had the ball on the other end the last time, where they're motioning, they're shifting, they're moving around. Look, let's just get up to the line of scrimmage and hand the ball to Breece Hall.
Breece Hall, again, over 100 yards already. Touchdown run on the first play from scrimmage tonight. 75 yards to the house to get things started for the Cyclones. Now, did he pick up the first down? Yes, he did. First down and goal to go, Iowa State.
I think just by the little bumps on the football, I think that's how he picked that thing up. That was real close.
The goose pimples.
Yeah, that's
on
right.
The pigskin.
That's right.
Let's see what they do down here. Do you feed Hall?
I think you feed Hall. And you don't do a zone read. You don't do any of that business. You hand the ball to him and let those big offensive linemen tee off.
13th play of the drive. It is Hall. And he's into the end zone. Fletcher had him in his grasp, but Hall, so elusive, sneaks in for 6.
Yeah, when he gets a load of steam behind him and he's coming downhill on a track like a locomotive, you're not going to stop him on the 1 yard line. It's just not happening. Again, they pull 2 linemen around, just kick Fletcher upfield, and an arm tackle is not going to bring Breece Hall down. Not any day of the week, and great way to finish that drive.
Second touchdown tonight on the ground for Breece Hall, his 10th rushing touchdown of the year. Connor Asali, the other place kicker for the Cyclones, comes on for the point after, and he buries it. So now the lead is 10 for Iowa State with 5 minutes to go here in the first half.
Welcome back to Manhattan, Kansas. About 5 minutes to go before halftime, where Iowa State leads it 17-7 over Kansas State. And speaking of Kansas State, I got to talk with their quarterback, Skylar Thompson. He's a big believer in giving back. And with this being Breast Cancer Awareness Month, well, he saw this as a great opportunity to not only honor to give back to the school, but honor his mother and her legacy. Teresa Lynn Thompson died of breast cancer when Skylar was just 6 years old. And with the help from Kansas State, the Thompson Family Cancer Research Fund was created, and Skylar also helped create Stronger Together t-shirts. This month, all proceeds raised from the Stronger Together line will go to the fund in honor of Skylar's mother.
Oh, thanks, Tiffany. One of the great things that has come out of the name, image, and likeness rule, for these college athletes, that money's going to be well spent. And Skylar Thompson, Rocky, he's going to bring the team back out down 10 now. He's gone through some hardships physically the last couple of years. Only played 3 games because of a shoulder injury last year. Thought he was lost for the season this year. Fortunately, he's not.
And that's why, if you're Chris Kleiman, you got to have a lot of confidence right now. Played 6 years. He's seen every blitz. He's seen every coverage. He's battled through adversity. So that's not the issue. But if you're K-State right now, 5 minutes to go, you're down 10. You'd love to have one of those long 5-minute drives, get some points, and then you get the ball coming out in the third quarter.
Skylar Thompson, 4 of 8, 69 yards, a touchdown pass. He's also thrown an interception. Fake to Irvin. Pass is caught by Tyrone Howell. The transfer from Hutchinson Community College had just 1 catch before tonight. He's been targeted a few times tonight. Now a flag on the field.
An eligible man downfield, number 76, offense, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
That's the left guard, Josh Rivas, with that penalty.
That's what, a zone reads, is it a run? It's a pass up to the quarterback. Now, they never call that. They never call illegal lineman downfield. It usually happens about every play. You can tell him I got a little thing against that.
Yeah, you do.
As a linebacker, but
bone to pick there.
Yeah, a little bit. Like to see that called.
K-State penalties have been a little bit of a problem. They took a season-high 10 against Oklahoma a couple of weeks ago. Give it here to Irvin. Quick to the outside. Iowa State, good pursuit to the edge. It's going to get a couple of yards back as Johnson and McDonald combine on the stop, 2nd down and long.
Irvin's got an extra gear, but it was just a good job Iowa State stringing that thing out. Now you see the tight end, Imader Bebe, coming into the game. You wonder if maybe try to get him going in this. He's in the slot to the top of the screen.
K-State, all of its timeouts remaining. 4 minutes to go till halftime. 2nd down and 12. And Thompson running. And that was a quarterback run all the way. First time we've seen that tonight for Skylar, but he only gets 1.
And didn't look totally confident in that run there. I mean, he did have the pitch option, but we talked about this has to at least be a part of the game. You can't just, if Iowa State doesn't respect the run, potential run of Skylar Thompson, that just makes your offense that much more vulnerable. But now here we go. At least gets it back. Still 3rd and long.
Again, that brace limits him some, but he says he's feeling better every day, more comfortable in that brace. Deuce Vaughn in the backfield, 3rd down and 11. Thompson to throw here, pocket collapsing, ball comes out. Iowa State, did they jump on it? I think Thompson got back on top of it. Well, that was a scary moment there for K-State fans. Will McDonald, the great defensive end, number 9 for the Clones, knocked it away.
Will McDonald has a 6'10" wingspan, and you see how effective that is. He just reaches that paw out there and able to tug on the arm and knock that ball away. Will McDonald, one of the best defensive ends in the country, future NFL guy, one of the just most exceptional athletes on this team.
Knoll is calling for the fair catch. He does it late, but he gets it at the 35-yard line. So Iowa State has a couple of minutes and 27 seconds on the clock and a timeout left when we come back. Iowa State trying to end a 17-year winless drought here in Manhattan, have a 10-point lead with 2:27 to go before half. Big 12 now on ESPN Plus, a must-have for Big 12 fans. Basketball season less than a month away. Media Day gets you ready with a season preview. The women's coverage begins Tuesday, the men Wednesday morning. If you're a Big 12 fan, you got to have it. Clay Matvick, Rocky Boyman, Tiffany Blackman here in Manhattan, the Little Apple. Iowa State has a timeout in its back pocket. Got the ball at their own 36. Breece Hall in the backfield. And this is Knoll, the freshman, continuing to have a great half.
And the coaches talked this week, Clay. They're like, he's involved in a lot of our special teams. He's just a freshman. Do we continue to, give him more load in this offense? Well, I think we got our answer. He's very much involved, and I think it's a good idea.
That's a gain of 11. Now a receiver screen to Darren Wilson. The senior out of Alpharetta, Georgia, gets it across the 50-yard line into plus territory. Daniel Green makes the stop, a 4-yard pickup.
They got to hustle a little bit here. They burned 2 of their timeouts early in this half. They only have 1 left.
Purdy to throw on 2nd and 6. Pressured, steps up. Lobs it to Hall, makes the catch. That's a 1st down and more to the 33-yard line.
What an exceptional play by Purdy. The whole defense and me and everyone at home thought Purdy was just going to tuck this thing and run. Purdy just right at the last second, boom, hits him.
Now he gives it to Hall, and he crashes to the 25-yard line. Purdy only has 2 incompletions tonight, Rocky. 13 of 15 for 151.
Yeah, he just looks so much more settled and in command than he did at the beginning of this year. Took a lot of confidence out of that Kansas game a couple weeks ago. He's playing well tonight.
Oh, now Hall is wrapped up in the backfield quickly. Shooting in was Daniel Green, the physical middle linebacker. Eli Huggins with some help. That's a loss of 3, and now a big 3rd down coming up with a minute left.
Another run blitz. I'm really pleased with how Kansas State is playing defense tonight. They're not just going to sit back there and let Breece Hall beat him. I know he had the long run first play of the game, but outside of that, they've done a good job. Now it looks like Iowa State's going to spread them out.
Purdy backpedaling. Throws, caught, Knoll, and he lunges ahead. Did he get the 1st down? It's very close. Another catch for Jalen Knoll. That's a gain of 7. And it's going to be 4th down. Wow. They're already within Andrew Meva's field goal range.
I think right now, I think we may use another timeout, but I think if you're Matt Campbell, you go for this thing.
The ruling on the field was the runner was short of the line to gain. Previous play is under further review.
So Jeff Hansen, our replay official, will look at it. Matt Campbell and Iowa State hoping to score more points ahead of halftime. All right, guys, we'll see in just a little bit. Jalen Knoll ruled down short of the line to gain, so it's 4th down. Matt Campbell, what does he do here, Rock?
Now, about 10 seconds ago, it looked like they were going to kick this field goal, but it looks like they may be running this offense onto the field.
4th and 1.
And this is tough because you only have one timeout left, so you get the 1st down, you got to call that or you got to get up to the line. Here the clock's running. Okay, they're going to just take it down and then call one.
And that's what they do.
Yeah, okay.
So Purdy, with 9 straight completions, 4 on this drive, gets him to the 23-yard line or so, and they're going to turn it over to Andrew Mevis, who already has a 44-yarder to his credit tonight.
Coach Campbell was really singing his praises this week, talking about how much he's really come on this year.
A transfer from Fordham, his big leg, 7 for 9 with a career-long 54 against UNLV. This will be from 41 yards away. Try and make this 20-7. Again, they spent a lot of time on special teams over the bye week. Out of the hold of Blake Clark. Connor guessed the snap. And that's how it's done. So they take the 3 points.
Halftime.
And they take a 20-7 lead into halftime.
Yeah, it was a great job. A missed opportunity by Kansas State, but Iowa State's defense comes up big and able to get a few points here before halftime.
Matt Campbell is pleased. All right, we send it to the studio now. Kevin Connors, Mike Golick Jr. Back here in Manhattan, where Iowa State leads it 20-7. The Cyclones still looking for a quality Power 5 win. Rocky Boyman and taking care of business in that first down.
They really are. All 3 phases, they've looked really good tonight, especially in the run game. They've really set the tempo here.
All right, Breece Hall got it going early. Let's take a look at tonight's Downey unstoppable performance. And Breece Hall, certainly an unstoppable player on the first play from scrimmage.
Yeah, first play from scrimmage, 75 yards. And you know Kansas State has made an effort to really load up that box and stop number 28. He just, look, you can only do it so many times. We've already talked about one of the best running backs in the country. He runs it in again from 1 yard there. 18th consecutive game with at least 1 touchdown, Clay.
Skylar Thompson and Kansas State will have it offensively to start here in the 3rd quarter. First, let's go down to Tiffany Blackman.
Guys, I spoke with Kansas State coach Chris Kleiman, and his message to his team at half, he kept it rather simple. He told them they've got to play a little bit better and quit making those mental mistakes. And he said to them, we're still in this game, guys.
Yeah, they put up 420 yards of offense against the Sooners, but just 120 in the first half here tonight.
But it's been the penalties, Clay. Only 3 of them, but they've come in such disastrous times there when they're getting ready to score for the field goal, and then they had 5 minutes to go in the half, and they got the illegal man downfield, set them back 1st and 15. Just those penalties coming at the worst time for K-State.
We'll start the half at the 25-yard line. Thompson loads, fires, and it's complete. Tyrone Howell, the junior out of Ida Bell, Oklahoma, with a nice play, a chunk yardage play of 17 yards on the first play from scrimmage.
Man, he's been a big part of this offense today, really quiet most of the year. Yeah, he's feeling it. Give him the ball again.
He's one of the guys that coaches talked about getting involved more this week. And Skylar Thompson, you see his numbers, the 1 touchdown pass to Phillip Brooks in the first half, also threw the interception, which led to 3 points for Iowa State. They'll run it here with Deuce Vaughn. Had 8 carries for 45 yards in the first half. Aishin Young makes the tackle after a 4-yard pickup.
Deuce Vaughn, they still got to make a concentrated effort to get the ball in his hands, whether it's on the ground, through the air. We've talked about how effective he is in the pass game, coming out of that slot or coming out of the backfield. Keep feeding 22.
Just really haven't been able to get the running game going the way they're used to the last few games. Maybe that could change here in the second half. 2nd down and 6. It is Vaughn. And again, Iowa State gets to him quickly and brings him down quickly. Jake Hummel was there. So was Mike Rose.
Great job by Mike Rose. I talked earlier in the game about how great he is at getting rid of blocks. This time here, he's just the fancy footwork, just slips the block. If you don't have to take it on, don't. Whoop, just come right back in, get right back in place there. And that's just a great effort and a good knack for playing that position.
Said it before, last year's Big 12 Defensive Player of the Year. First Cyclone to win that award since A.J. Klein in 2011. 3rd down and 6. Thompson to the outside, should have been caught, dropped by Brooks, the sure-handed veteran who has the only touchdown for K-State tonight. Drops what would have been a conversion, and now K-State will have to punt.
And we've just talked about the missed opportunities by K-State, and you mentioned it. I mean, the sure-handed Brooks, that's a ball he catches 99 times out of 100, and that's going to be for the first down. They move the chains, and it just doesn't happen.
So Ty Zentner comes on to punt. This will be his 3rd kick. Sails it inside the 10, and it's covered up quickly by Howell. And the Cyclones will be pinned back for their first drive of the second half. Let's go down to Tiffany.
Guys, Coach Matt Campbell told me he would let Brock Purdy know during halftime to just stay poised. And he said how hard that can be in this kind of environment. But he did see Brock settle down, and he specifically pointed out their last 2 and 3 drives. He said that he's extremely proud of him being able to handle that and get himself composed during this kind of game in this environment, guys.
No, you're right, Tiffany. We've talked about it in the all first half. He just looks comfortable. He looks calm. He doesn't look like he's pressing the way he was early in the season.
He's only got 2 incompletions tonight. They'll hand it off to Hall, already over 100 yards this evening, and gets it across the 10-yard line. You know, you guys, Brock Purdy, very good quarterback the last 4 years at Iowa State, but especially here in the month of October. The Cyclones 9-2 in October since Purdy took over at the position in 2018. So Clones fans now calling it Brocktober.
I like it. I love it. Brocktober, he's doing a great job, and they're going to need him to play his best football of his career coming down the stretch here.
Play fake, rolls out on the boot, hits the tight end, Chase Allen. And he gets out around the 25-yard line. That's a first down for Allen, the 6th-year senior, 3-time All-Big 12 tight end.
And Tom Manning, the offensive coordinator, Clay, told us this week Chase Allen is one of his all-time favorite players. 5th-year guy, had some injuries early in his career, but just every day shows up, works, battles. He's been a great player for Iowa State.
Here's Hall again. No pickup on that play as K-State was ready for him. Chase Allen's dad, Terry Allen, was Chris Kleiman's head coach at Northern Iowa 31 years ago.
Full circle.
Yeah, it really does come back full circle for Chase. And Terry went on to be a head coach at Kansas, was an assistant at Iowa State for a time. 2nd down and 10. Play action, pressured, dumped it off. Hall trying to spin away, can't do it. It's going to be 3rd down and long. Cody Fletcher, we've been waiting all night for Fletcher to make a play, and he finally does. Felix and UDK Uzama also in on that stop.
What an exceptional open field tackle. That doesn't happen often. That is a great play, an arm tackle, able to get the other one around. Now a huge opportunity for K-State right here. If they can get this ball punted, get off the field, their offense is going to get the ball back in good field position. Looks like they're loading up. They're not going to wait back. They're going to bring the heat here.
Purdy has been very good on 3rd down. 3 receivers to the right. Penalty marker. Could be a free play. That is incomplete in the secondary. Broken up by Echo Boydo. But now what's the flag about?
This is on K-State. Another missed opportunity. And they may have 12 guys on the field.
Illegal substitution. Defense had 12 people on the field. 5-yard penalty. Replay, third down.
Good call, Rocky. I don't know how you count that fast, but you're right again, and you're right. These penalties continue to pile up.
It's just, again, in the worst possible time. It's not like they've had a ton of them. This is just the fourth of them, but every time it's been a crucial part. They're getting ready to get off the field and get the ball in great field position, and now they're going to give Iowa State another opportunity. They blitzed it last time. We'll see if they go with that strategy again. You got Stubblefield up to the top, looking like he's going to show blitz here.
They need the 35-yard line to keep the drive alive. Purdy flushed out, being chased. Got it to his running back, Jyrell Brock, and that's going to be a first down reception for Brock. His first catch of the night.
What an exceptional job by Brock Purdy. So last time they blitzed it, this time they drop 8 into coverage and just bring 3. And he gets outside the pocket, just bides a little bit more time, and he gets the running back Brock out there, and good job. Just his vision, Clay, is what really sets it apart, him apart. Of all the great qualities he has as a quarterback, his ability to see the field, in my opinion, is one of the best.
First and 10. Purdy fakes the handoff. That pass a little too tall, intended for Milton. So it'll be second down. Said it before, Purdy owns or shares 29 school records. Next to Matt Campbell, Purdy might be the biggest reason for the growth of the Iowa State football program the last 4 years.
Yeah, he's had a heck of a career. 4 years as a starter, 10,000 yards, 70 pass touchdowns. Brother, that is getting it done.
That incompletion ends a streak of 11 straight completions. So second and 10 now. And they'll go back to the running back. Hall will hop over the 40-yard line and down to the 42. Third down.
Here we go, another opportunity for this K-State defense. Try to get off the field. Got a long drive going here for Iowa State. And they keep this thing going. Could be the backbreaker. K-State can get off the field, they'll have a chance.
A new look defense this year for K-State. The 3-3 stack introduced, same as what Iowa State uses. Need a big stop. Here they come. Blitz picked up. Purdy fakes the throw. He's going to try and run for the first down, and he's got it as he skips out at the 49-yard line. An 8-yard gain, and Purdy will keep this drive alive.
And it's just the little things, Clay, that make Brock Purdy one of the best in college football. This is a very simple thing. Coming off the side, but just a little pump fake there. That's just enough to stop Reggie Stubblefield in his tracks there. And Stubblefield knows that I almost had him, but look, just a little pump right there. Just freeze the defender, get outside, pick up the first down. Just, again, the little things he does so well.
10,000 career passing yards, 1,000 career rushing yards. Just the 6th player in Big 12 history to accomplish that. Deep handoff, and that is a good run for Breece Hall. So physical. And now a flag in the secondary down at the 33-yard line. We may have a targeting call. Russ Yeast came in hard to hit Hall.
Personal foul. Targeting. Number 2. Defense. Leading with the crown of his helmet. The previous play is under further review.
It's number 2, Russ Yeast, the transfer from Louisville.
Now here's what's in question, because Breece Hall is not defenseless, all right? But it's just a matter of, is it the crown of the helmet that Yeast uses here? That's kind of cool.
Well, they're looking at it. We'll talk about it when we come back. That targeting call was reversed, so free safety Russ Yeast is going to stay in this game for K-State.
Again, Breece Hall was not defenseless. The only thing in question was, did Russ Yeast use the crown of his helmet? And they overturn it. It's not targeting, and I think that's a great call by the booth officials. What's Yeast supposed to do? He's got a 220-pound running back coming at him. He's 185 pounds. I'm glad to see they pulled the flag there and didn't kick him out of the game.
On 2nd and 1. Purdy's going to keep it. And did he get enough for the first down?
Number 15, Brock Purdy.
He's wrapped up by Crook Jones, the defensive end. And he's getting a chance to play because of injuries on that front as well. And he did stop him short of the line. So now it's 3rd and 1.
Great job by Crook Jones there. Now K-State's going to sub in 4 guys here. They're going to get Andy Duque, Uzama out on the field, Reggie Stubblefield.
They're so beat up along the defensive line. Bronson Massey is out. Khalid Duke out for the year with a leg injury. Patching it together. 3rd down and 1. Iowa State, can they pick it up? You bet. Breece Hall. You just go back to their moneymaker.
28, Breece Hall.
Iowa State has a lot going on, shift in motion and all that. But then just the patience, Tiffany talked about this, so they're just a little split second, he pauses, but as soon as a little bit of daylight creeps off to his left, boom, the right foot's in the ground and he hits it. There's a big difference between patience and not hitting the hole hard. You can have the ability to wait back a little bit, but once that daylight opens, you got to be able to hit it. Breece Hall, one of the best in the country at doing that.
A junior from Wichita, 161 on the ground now. Purdy to the air. Going to hit his tight end down the seam, Charlie Kohler. And here's Iowa State back inside the 25. 1st down.
Charlie Kohler, we talked about him early in the season coming out of camp, a little dinged up. But he's just been exceptional. Intelligent kid, 3.99 in mechanical engineering. That's good, right?
Well, I'd say. I don't know how the Sooners didn't pick up on him. He's out of Norman, Oklahoma, as Hall spins his way to the 20. It's a gain of 4. The durability of both of the running backs, the star running backs that we're seeing tonight. You know, Deuce Vaughn obviously hasn't had the big offensive night yet. Breece Hall, though, 21 carries now. That's what's getting it done for Iowa State.
It really is, and I just think that makes them somewhat unique in this conference. You know, like to throw the ball around a lot here, but you come and you play Iowa State, you know you better bring your extra chin strap.
14th play of the drive. Purdy fell down trying to get that handoff to Jyrell Brock. Nearly a busted play. They make it work out somehow, pick up a couple. It'll be 3rd down.
There's one little stretch play. I don't know what happened to Purdy there. The turf monster may have gotten him. But right now, we got a 14-play drive. Over 7 minutes gone off the clock here. This is just textbook stuff by Iowa State.
Yeah, it's just a soul destroyer, too, especially if they can punch it in the end zone.
Start off on the 1-yard line.
Kohler in the slot on the right, Brock in the backfield, Purdy to throw. He'll get rid of it fairly quickly. It is Kohler, the tight end, again. 1st down, Iowa State at the 13.
Ruling on the field is a
Jerome McPherson, the strong safety for Kansas State, did a pretty good job. But, you know, look, Charlie Kohler, 6'6". The ball's up high. Purdy puts in the perfect plays up high where only the tight end can get it. If he doesn't, goes out of bounds. He says, heck yeah. That's how we do it.
This team looks hungry to end the long losing streak in Manhattan. They've lost 7 straight in this building. They haven't won here since 2004. Look at that 15-play drive. And now Hall again. Maybe a couple of yards. Cody Fletcher, number 55, another tackle for the weak side linebacker.
8 plays, 8 minutes. Excuse me, 15 plays, 8 minutes. You can tell that his defenders see Fletcher there and other guys sucking wind a little bit.
Yeah.
That's a tough thing to do. You're out there for a long time. And you got to face Breece Hall.
Came in as the #1 rushing defense in the Big 12, but they've given up 147 on the ground, most of it to Hall. Here we go with Breece Hall again. He is pulled down short of the 10. It's going to be 3rd down and about 7. Wayne Jones on that stop, the converted safety, doing a good job at his new position, Sam linebacker.
Yeah, he is. They wanted to get Stubblefield involved in linebacker spot, also Wayne Jones.
Here's another situation where Iowa State needs to finish, and they've struggled with that this year.
Absolutely.
This has been too good of a drive not to get 6.
We haven't heard much of Xavier Hutchinson in a little while. He's at the slot at the bottom.
Going to send Sean Shaw in motion, number 2. Purdy looking to the end zone for Shaw. Nice adjustment. Did he make the catch? Yes, touchdown, Iowa State.
Rolling on the field, touchdown.
Sean Shaw, his first touchdown of the year. From 11 yards out, and the K-State fans can't believe it.
And those looks right there say it all. What an absolute dart by Brock Purdy. Back shoulder, receiver falling away, puts it in an absolute dime right there. I mean, that's great coverage. Great coverage by Brents on the outside. It's just a perfect throw. And you got to love, Clay, seeing Purdy get other wide receivers involved in this pass game. Coming into this one, it was all Xavier Hutchinson from the wide receiver spot. A couple other folks making a presence here tonight.
Nevis adds the extra point. And to your point, he's used 15 different receivers this year, getting Sean Shaw involved in the celebration tonight. Iowa State in command, 27-7. You're watching the Big 12 Conference on ESPN. Back here in Manhattan, Clay Matvick, Rocky Boyman, Tiffany Blackman, 27-7. A soul-sucking 18-play, 93-yard drive in just over 10 minutes. We revisit our impact players presented by Chick-fil-A. Breece versus Deuce. It's been pretty one-sided tonight, Rock.
Yeah, pretty much. Breece Hall started this game off with a 75-yard touchdown run, and he's just been exceptional tonight. He's been grinding out some tough yards. He's made some explosive plays. Deuce Vaughn hasn't really been able to get going. They've not involved him at all in the pass game. I think that's something they got to consider, try to get him into some space.
And Iowa State's done a pretty good job the last few kickoffs neutralizing Malik Knowles. It's going to be a touchback. K-State has it. They're down 20 with 2:55 to go in the third. Rocky Boyman, notorious hockey fan. Deuce Vaughn on the run. We've seen too little of that, Rocky.
Yeah.
You know, especially on first down for K-State tonight.
Yeah, I mean, he's one of the best weapons on this team. I think that's, yeah, you got to keep finding a way to get him involved, especially in the pass game where he's very dangerous.
Anthony Johnson made the tackle on one of the best corners in the Big 12 the last 4 years, number 26 for Iowa State. So many good defenders on this defense. I mean, that they're going to lose, too, for next year. That's the unfortunate thing for Clones fans. On first down, Thompson. Goes to Howell again. Boy, it's been a big night for Howell, and I think he's got a first down there after that reception. Tyrone Howell, transfer from Hutchinson Community College, moves the chains.
Yeah, but Skylar Thompson got hit hard on this play. Not a shot you want your quarterback taking, especially coming off the injury. He just gets kind of slammed down. Actually wasn't too bad, but was able to get the ball out there to Howell.
You can see Thompson there looking at the officials saying, hey, what about the flag
help
there?
me out.
Thompson only 6 completed passes tonight. He'll hand off. This is Joe Irvin. Nifty little runner out of Rock Hill, South Carolina, just outside of Charlotte. And K-State's down to the Iowa State 41.
All right, so finally some momentum for K-State. A couple of good plays in a row. What they can't have now is a penalty. That's what's happened to most of this whole entire game. They start to get a little momentum, then boom comes the costly penalty. Got to keep finishing this drive and keep it clean.
I'll stay with Irvin in the backfield. K-State trying to end a 7-game conference losing streak going back to last year. On first down, Skylar Thompson will slide up, and we're just going to see him run. And the crowd cheers as he picks up the first down. Remember, still making his way back from that right knee injury.
And you can tell that, you know, the wheels aren't quite there, but that's one you see man-to-man coverage. All the defenders' backs are turned. in some open space. Just a smart play by Skylar Thompson. I just love watching this kid. He's tough, he's gritty, he's out there, he's not 100%, but he does so many good things for this K-State football team.
Not 100%, but certainly the quarterback that gives them the best chance to win, even if he's not healthy. Joe Irvin again finds some leverage on the outside. He is upended by Johnson at the 20-yard line. Man, Anthony Johnson can hit you.
This defense flies around, Clay, and you mentioned a lot of juniors and seniors. These guys have been playing together for a long, long time. They know each other. And Irvin, as we talked about, he's got a 6-gear him, then boom, come up there. And I'd like to see a defensive back sacrifice their body like that.
Irvin, first down and more inside the 15. And here's K-State in the red zone now. Traditionally very good in this part of the field, and the drive will continue in the fourth quarter. K-State has to get something done on this series. They're down 20 and starting to run out of time as we move to the fourth in Manhattan. 27-7. Ball at the Iowa State 14, first down and 10 for Skylar Thompson. And the Wildcats offense, they go to Deuce Vaughn, and he gets it down to the 6. This Iowa State defense has only allowed 2 offensive touchdowns in the second half of games the last 10 contests. Texas in 2020 and Kansas a couple of weeks ago, but that touchdown was in garbage time when the game was decided.
Yeah, their backs against the wall. They've really done a good job of shoring up. Talked about getting veteran unit. Guys are used to playing with one another. Do a good job.
Vaughn stays in, and he's got the direct snap. Iowa State was pretty ready for that. Third down.
Yeah. Veteran group was not fooled with the Wildcat formation. Craig McDonald came up from that safety spot, made a nice tackle on Vaughn, something that's not easy to do. I mean, you got to figure this is 2-down territory here. They got to go for the touchdown at this point in the game.
Kansas State has converted 3 third-down situations tonight. Here's Vaughn picking his way, and it looks like he's got enough for the first down. Deuce Vaughn, he showed some of the patience that we talked about earlier with Breece Hall. Kind of waited for a little crease, and he found it.
And that's where he's so dangerous. There's big, just massive humanity balled up right there, and the smaller Vaughn just finds a way to sneak through and pick up the first down. That's where his size really helps him right there.
So after the 18-play Iowa State drive, this is the 10th play coming up for K-State on the ensuing series. Like you said, Rocky, they absolutely have to get it in the end zone.
Yeah, best drive of the game so far for K-State. They got to come up with a touchdown.
Thompson's going to sprint out, has the option, but he chooses to keep it himself. He's wrapped up in front of the goal line by Mike Rose. But how about the guts of this kid?
Yeah, I mean, this is where they love to run him. But you can just tell, like, he's coming off to his left, and it's the right knee. So it's almost like his inside plant leg that he's got to be able to push off of, and I just don't know if the strength and the health is there on it. There just wasn't that explosion, right, that you're used to seeing out of the running ability of Skylar Thompson.
That's a guy you can play behind.
Oh, absolutely, though. But I mean, just his effort on a play like that really inspires the rest of that team, gritting it out.
Injured that right knee week 2. Unlike last year, was not lost for the season. He's playing with savvy and guile, and he gets right into the end zone. Touchdown, Skylar Thompson. And the crowd really appreciates that effort from Thompson and the Wildcats.
If you're a college football fan, you appreciate that effort. I mean, that's a guy playing out there with an injured leg. He knows it's going to be injured the whole season. You can tell. Just jogging off the field right there. He's limping around a little bit, but he's not letting it stop him. He's going to go in there and lead his team down the field for a touchdown.
Off the upright, and it stays 27-13. Tatum Winkle with the first extra point miss of the season for K-State. But the Wildcats with an 11-play, 75-yard drive in 5.5 minutes to stay in this one here in the fourth quarter.
Welcome back to Manhattan, Kansas, where Iowa State leads at 27-13, but Kansas State just scored on a gutsy run by quarterback Skylar Thompson. And guys, he had to gut that one out. He's dealing with that knee injury, wearing the brace. He's on the bike now. When he first got on it, he did grimace a little bit, but he appears to be kind of smoothing things out right now, guys.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing, Tiffany, I respect more out of anybody than toughness. And that is a tough young man right there. You can tell he's limping a little bit, and that knee is not going to be perfect. Got that big, bulky knee brace, and he's just trying to keep that thing warm. He knows he's got another quarter of football to play here, but just nothing but the utmost respect for Skylar Thompson here tonight.
He's carried it 6 times tonight. You said at the top of the broadcast he's going to have to run it some. We saw him run it more on that series than we have all night.
It did, and it helped. You know, Iowa State maybe kind of fell asleep a little bit on the running ability of Skylar Thompson, but inside that 10-yard line, he made him pay.
So now the ball in Brock Purdy's hands again. He'll hand it off. Look out. Here goes Breece Hall. Finds the sideline. Tough man to bring down in the secondary. And he is ushered out by Amaris Brown, the cornerback. But that is a huge run. A gain of 43 for the Clones, and they're right back into Kansas State territory.
Same thing. Patience, patience. Where's the Hall? Oh, there it is, out to the outside. Got some great blocking on the outside. Pin the defender in, and then the speed by Breece Hall. Again, inside, outside, lateral, and Breece Hall can do it all.
Now 183 on the ground for Hall. Purdy pumps, sprints out to the right, throws to the sideline, finds Null, and he gets out at about the 32 as we go to the studio and an update with Kevin. Still a lot of time in that game, though, and we know how Oklahoma's kind of struggled to put teams away this year.
That's right, and you don't know what to say. Is it that they've kind of just been, you know, in some games that they should have lost, or is it they're such a good team that they're finding a way to win, and that's what they keep doing, and doing it so far tonight.
Brock up the middle on second down. He'll get 5, so 3rd and 5 coming up. All right, let's take a look at this week's college football rankings brought to us by PlayStation. The big news today, the loss by number 2 Iowa as Purdue goes into Kinnick Stadium and pulls the victory. Thought Kentucky was going to give Georgia a hard time, but ultimately the number 1 Bulldogs still look like the best team in the nation.
In Iowa, it just finally the lack of offense caught up to them. I don't think in college football anymore you can win solely on defense and special teams. You got to have the ability to put up points. Iowa's not been able to do that, and they got bit today.
It'll be interesting to see if Cincinnati moves to number 2 or if Oklahoma takes care of business, if they'll be the number 2 team in the country.
It's going to be offsides in the defense, I think.
False start, number 55. Offense, 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
So right guard Daryl Simmons, and that's penalty number 4 for Iowa State.
I thought they might have had Amaris Brown, the cornerback, getting across the line early. His offensive line's done a great job tonight blocking for Breece Hall, providing Brock Purdy some time.
Hall moves into the backfield to the left of Purdy. Pressure comes. He dumps it out to Hall. Finds a block. Gets to the outside. Great screen by the Cyclones as they free up some room after the catch for Breece Hall. Russ Yeast knocks him out. Maybe a couple yards short. So here's a 4th down for Iowa State.
Like that play call right there. There's such diversity in their play calling. What they do, they got a couple linemen out there leading the way, and I'm gonna have to settle for the field goal here. Great effort by Breece Hall nonetheless.
Mevis hit from 44 and 41 in the first half. This will also be a 41-yard attempt. Well, I think they have found their regular field goal kicker, as Andrew Mevis has been outstanding tonight. 3 for 3, And the lead swells again for Iowa State, 30-13 with just over 9 to go. K-State trailblazer Earl Woods. That's right, Tiger Woods' dad. He became the first black baseball player in Big 7 history. He was offered a contract by the Kansas City Monarchs at one time. He was so good. And he was born and raised here in Manhattan, went to K-State, buried at Sunset Cemetery across town. Passed away in 2006. 30-13 now, Iowa State after that drive and field goal with 9:09 to go. And Malik Knowles is not going to be able to return this one either. Plan to play brought to you by Northwestern Mutual. And how about that great drive? 18 plays, 93 yards, over 10 minutes for Iowa State here in the half. And Brock Purdy, Rocky Boyman, was 6 for 7 on the drive and 3 for 3 on third down.
And we talked about how Breece Hall, how great he's played, but that drive was all Brock Purdy. He put that team on his back, couple nice third down conversions, the pump fake, getting Kohler, and then the dart. Perfect ball placement for the touchdown. Exceptional drive by. What's that though? I don't know.
He's celebrating Brocktober.
If you play like that, you can do that kind of dance, right?
Yes. Here's Deuce Vaughn straight ahead for 11 yards on first down. Iowa State, most anticipated season in their football history. Ranked number 7 in the preseason, fell out of the polls after the Baylor loss. And that's going to be a loss for K-State. And run for Vaughn, but you get the feeling that Iowa State feels that tonight was a chance to kind of regroup after the bye week, and they've got the stretch run ahead of them. They've got games that can really impact the Big 12 race out in front of them as well.
Clay, you're absolutely right, and this team is coming together. They're getting things really ironed out. Right now, Oklahoma and Oklahoma State at the top of this conference, but you mentioned it. They still got Oklahoma State to play down the stretch, still got Texas, Oklahoma. Whole season's right ahead there for them. They're playing good football.
Thompson off his back foot, deep down the middle, and it's broken up at the last moment. Aisheem Young, we talked about his versatility. He plays like a linebacker. He plays like a true safety. He was back in pass coverage there and did a great job.
And Aisheem Young is saying, look, I got beat there. But what he did, Clay, is he didn't try to look back for the ball. He knew he was beat. He said, hey, I got to just turn and run and hope for the best. And at the last minute, a great job of just knocking that ball away. You never want to, if you're beat, you don't want to turn your head around as a defender. That slows you down. If you have to, just turn and run. He's able to make a play.
Aisheem Young with a couple of interceptions on the year. Just a sophomore. Thompson flushed, steps up, line drive pass caught at the 45-yard line by Malik Knowles. That is his second catch tonight. They'll move the sticks, and K-State is in plus territory here with 8 minutes to go.
That was a good job by Thompson there. That Iowa State brought a blitz. He kept the eyes downfield, just shuffled around and made a nice throw.
Thompson's going to throw it again, chucks it to the outside. That is caught by Landry Weber. First time we've called his name. That's a first down reception. Weber, the Lenexa, Kansas native, had a little breakout game against Oklahoma, but he's been pretty quiet tonight.
Yeah, he really has. I mean, he had just 7 receptions coming into this year, and then already had 7. That makes it another one. Very involved in special teams, but now getting involved in the offense.
He's a semifinalist for the Campbell Trophy. That is known as the Academic Heisman. Deuce Vaughn looking for room on the right, now comes back left, spins out of a potential tackle and gets to their 30. I mean, that looked like disaster, and gets a positive run out of it. Well, Week 6 Monday Night Football, it's a good one. Josh Allen and the Bills taking on the Titans Monday, 8 o'clock Eastern. Josh Allen has been absolutely terrific. Coverage begins with Monday Night Countdown at 6 Eastern.
Josh Allen's been terrific, but so has Derrick Henry through 5 games. Already 640 rush yards and 7 touchdowns. That's getting her done.
It's going to be a great one on Monday night. K-State with a scoring drive on its last possession. They need another one. Optioned out to Irvin. And he gets it inside the 30, down to the 28-yard line. K-State has all of its timeouts remaining, but the clock is really their enemy now. Thompson loads, fires, and we may have pass interference. Datrone Young, whose nickname is Speedy, wasn't fast enough to get into position to defend Tyrone Howell the right way.
And I think what they're going to get is the right hand of Young was
Pass
wrapped around the waist
interference.
for receiver.
Number 2, defense. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic. First down.
You know, and as a defender, you know, if you can kind of get away with a little grab, if it's kind of out of sight, but just that right arm is way up top there, right where the referee can see it. Skylar Thompson, hey, there's the flag.
At the 11.
Thompson 8 of 14, 127, a touchdown, an interception. He'll go to the air, or try to, and pressured and thrown away. That just was not what he had in mind. Everything was to the right of him, and he was forced to go to his left.
Yeah, he's forced away from his throwing hand, which if you're on defense, that's what you want to do. Force him to quarterback's left if he's a right-handed quarterback, and then that field size just shrinks. There was nowhere to go for Thompson with the football.
Chris Kleiman, third year at K-State. Again, had a really good first year on the job. Only 4 wins last year, but because of injuries, especially to his quarterback Thompson and COVID, it was just a train wreck of a year. Ended up with 4 victories. And now timeout called as Chris Kleiman will burn his first timeout here in the second half. We're going to step aside. 30-13 Cyclones here in Manhattan. .605 to go here in the fourth, as Iowa State has a 30-13 lead. Big 12 headlines: Oklahoma State rallying to beat number 25 Texas. The Longhorns blew a big lead for the second straight week. Baylor upsetting number 19 BYU, and Texas Tech, Kansas. That was no contest.
Well, you said it. Second straight week, they blow a double-digit lead. They had that game locked in 17-3. Just couldn't put her away. Texas, I'm talking about.
Thompson, great effort, but they're going to have nothing to show for it as Knowles was out of bounds. Oh, man, he scrambled around on that sore right knee for as long as he could to find Knowles coming across the back of the end zone, but they ran out of real estate.
Yeah, did a good job extending that play, and allows his wide receivers to get open, but just the ball sailed on him a little bit. Got the receiver out of bounds.
I want to go back to Texas. How about Bijan Robinson putting up great numbers this year for the Longhorns? Certainly a Heisman contender. They're just not winning around him.
Can he be a Heisman contender if they keep losing, though? I don't know if he can.
Draw play, and Vaughn is enveloped at the 10-yard line by Mike Rose. And now K-State down 3 scores as a 4th down here. And running out of time, clock running. In fact, they've got 2 timeouts left.
Yeah, I think if you're K-State, you're saying, how many times are we going to be down this area of the field? We got to try to go for the touchdown here. And you got to figure they're going to look for Phillip Brooks. In this area, he's up at the top of the screen.
They can pick up a first down at the 1. Thompson stands tall, goes to the end zone, and it is caught. Malik Knowles, his first touchdown reception of the year from 9 yards out.
And I couldn't believe that, Clay, because it looked like T.J. Tampa, the quarterback for Iowa State, looked like he intercepted this ball, but it goes right between his hands, and Knowles comes, look at that. It comes, and Knowles says, thank you very much.
It was an illusion. First touchdown catch this year for Knowles. And the extra point this time is good. for Winkle. And it's a 10-point game with just over 5 minutes left.
So K-State not out of this thing. They get the score here, 10-point game, 5 minutes to go here in Manhattan.
So K-State pulls to within 10 with 5 minutes left. And the Iowa State hands team is out on the field as they're bracing for an onside kick. How big is the missed field goal tonight by Tatum Winkle and the missed extra point? If he has those 4 points on the board, this is a one-score game.
Got a chance here to redeem themselves, though.
He's got to go 10 yards. Ball's loose. Who's got it? There's a pile-up at the 45-yard line. Iowa State says they've got it. No indication from the officials. And now there is. Cyclones ball. 5:02 to go. Iowa State has it. Let's go to the studio and Kevin Connors. All right, Kevin and Mike. Does Spencer Rattler see the field again this year?
How the guy has 300 yards and passing, 4 touchdowns. They may have found the answer to their quarterback question. That offense is underachieved all year with Rattler. I think it's going to be Caleb Williams from here on out.
Great field position for the Cyclones, already on the plus side of the field. Kick off your Week 6 NFL Sunday, 10 a.m. Eastern with the Countdown crew on ESPN and the ESPN app. All the news and previews right up to kickoff. Clay Matvick, Rocky Boyman, Tiffany Blackman on a beautiful Saturday night here in the Little Apple, Manhattan, Kansas. Iowa State trying to put a 17-year winless drought here in Manhattan to bed tonight. And if they do it, it'll be because of that man in large part. Breece Hall has been outstanding as he crushes one to the 40-yard line, 3rd and about 5.
There's a big play right here, because if you're Iowa State, you know, you want to pick up the first down, but you don't want to force the football, have Brock Purdy force a throw and allow Kansas State to get a turnover here. But K-State, you got to sell out. You cannot give up a first down. This game's going to tick away from you here.
This will be an interesting play call from Tom Manning. You want to be somewhat conservative, I would think. Purdy, safe throw to the outside. Hutchinson is top receiver, and that's a first down for the Cyclones, and a key one.
Great play call, safe play call. Get the ball in the hands of your best wide receiver, Hutchinson. Did a good job picking up the blitz, too. Just calm, cool, collected, shoot it out there to number 8. And that's a backbreaker right there if you're K-State.
Hutchinson took the Big 12 by storm last year, won the conference Offensive Newcomer of the Year. Came from Glenn Junior College down in Texas. Take the play clock down. All the way down to 1. Hall, again, so great with that patient approach inside the 20. Another first down for Breece Hall.
And this is where Breece Hall really comes into play. This offensive line just going to lean on you and push and allow Breece Hall to pick up yards, pick up first downs. Here you see from Breece Hall's perspective, a little patience and then a little burst. Another first down.
13 yards on that carry. He's got 208 yards now total.
So many good running backs in the Big 12 this year. Jalen Warren for Oklahoma State had a big day at 193.
Hall again will tap dance in the backfield. Pushes it ahead for 3, and now you get the sense that K-State even knows it. That was a demoralizing conversion to Hutchinson on that pass from Purdy.
Yeah, and then the follow-up one with Breece Hall. Yeah, that was the play of the game right there, and I think that about iced it for Iowa State. But what a performance by Hall and Brock Purdy. I mean, your best players got to make big plays in games like this, coming into a place where they haven't had much success. and done a good job.
And the play clock down inside of 5. K-State tackle in the backfield. Robert Hentz shooting in number 15. Also Daniel Green, and now K-State calls a timeout with 1:33 to go. It'll be 3rd down and long. Well, the computers still like Iowa State, Rocky. Currently favored in all but one of their remaining games. They're going to get Oklahoma State and Texas at home. Also got a trip out to West Virginia, which won't be easy, but looking down the road, they're going to play the Sooners on the road in November. That could be a really big game. Iowa State, they have a chance to win the league outright or play in the Big 12 title game for a 2nd straight year.
Yeah, I mean, look, they're in the thick. We talked about it at the top of the broadcast. Iowa State especially had a lot riding on this game. They had to come here and get a win and kind of springboard themselves into this Big 12 conversation. Of course, Oklahoma and Oklahoma State playing very well right now, both to be undefeated.
Matt
Iowa
Campbell,
State, no.
You know, this is the only place he hasn't won in the Big 12 yet. Trying to get that monkey off his back tonight. 3rd down and 11. And Hall again, nowhere to go. It'll be 4th down. And Julius Brents coming in. And another timeout. For the Cyclones will come out again for a 41-yard attempt. He's hit 2 from this distance and also has a 44-yarder to his credit tonight. How about you?
Wow, huge.
And now it's seemingly all over but the shout for Iowa State.
Yeah, especially with Kansas State, they have no timeouts left. 2-score game, just a 1:23 left on the clock.
Andrew Mevis, transfer from Fordham. Kind of going back and forth with Connor Asali here this year in the place-kicking duties for the Cyclones. And maybe establishing himself as the guy to have that job full-time.
4 clutch field goals. I think that does it for Mevis.
You know, what is it about streaks like the one that Iowa State's been on here, where coming into Manhattan has been so tough? Going back to 2004, the last time they had won here. You know, what is it? Because every year there are new players that come in, and they've never experienced it, but for some reason it just drug on for a long time here for the Cyclones.
Well, I think first of all, this is just a tough place to play. You know, we had a sellout crowd here tonight. You know, these fans get rocking and rolling inside this stadium, and you know, history is a little bit a part of that. But you're right, Iowa State kind of looks like they may have overcome that futility here tonight.
Over 200 yards passing for Purdy, a 200-yard rushing game for Hall. And Malik Knowles from the goal line is going to get a chance to return one here. Looking to bring one back for the 3rd straight game. It's not going to happen, as he stopped at the 21-yard line with 1:17 to play. So Skylar Thompson, gutty effort tonight on a sore right knee. Has looked pretty good here in the second half. And it's going to be too little too late, it appears, as he hits Vaughn for about 5 yards on that completion. Johnson with the tackle. Oklahoma, they're the team it seems like everyone thinks is going to walk away with the Big 12. Oklahoma State thinks they're going to have something to say about it.
And I mean, especially with the way the new quarterback Caleb Williams played tonight. I think early on they had some games that they didn't really put away, but maybe that allowed that team to grow a little bit where they can finish and win those close games. They'll need that down the stretch.
Iowa State will take on the Sooners later in the year. Thompson got rid of it in time to get it to Vaughn, and he is going to be run out of bounds right near the sticks by Johnson.
And Will McDonald came screaming off the outside there. You see number 9, Skylar Thompson, good job stepping up, not giving up on the play. With the left-handed toss. That's stuff that's hard to teach at the quarterback position, but he's played so much football. We talked about how tough he is. We've seen that tonight.
Goes to Brooks for the first down. He'll be wrapped up at about the 37-yard line. Clock running. They don't have any timeouts left.
At some point for K-State, you got to try something deep here. And obviously, Iowa State, 3 guys deep.
Ball's loose. Scramble for it at the 35. Is this a Kansas State turnover?
Will McDonald again.
And they're unstacking bodies.
Football on the play, recovered by K-State.
Wildcats recover.
It was Will McDonald coming off the offense's right side. We talked about his arm length, snuck in and popped that ball out. K-State able to recover, though.
And Skylar Thompson, just no quit in this guy. Wants to fight till the triple zeros come up. Gets it to the tight end. Matter He's got the first down into Cyclones territory. A gain of 20. 15 seconds to go.
Try to find a shot to Malik Knowles here.
Thompson, another completion, bobbled, held onto again by Matter The 7th-year senior picks up 15. Are they going to get another play? Maybe one more here. They're going to start the clock. This is it. Thompson will dump it off short to Vaughn. Can he get to the end zone? He'll try his darndest, but he's pulled down at the 11, and that's it. So Iowa State finally gets off the schneid. First win in Manhattan since 2004. The Cyclones run their record to 4-2, 2-1 in the Big 12. First win in Manhattan for Matt Campbell. That's got to feel good. Now they're going to go home to face Oklahoma State next week, a homecoming game in Ames.
Yeah, Oklahoma State rolling. They had the big win today. We're down 17-3 against Texas. Came back and won that thing. But for Iowa State, we talked about it. Kind of a slow start to the season. But the offense especially got going against Kansas 2 weeks ago. They get the bye, they get healthy, and stay in rhythm. They come in this place where they haven't won a lot and did a good job.
Let's go down to Tiffany.
Coach Campbell, this program had not won in Manhattan, Kansas since 2004. What does it feel like to get a win like this here?
Yeah, you know, I think it's big for our kids and big for our program. You know, I think we keep getting better, and it's really been the trademark of our football program over the last 3 years is get better as the season goes, and I think it's another big step in the right direction for us.
Your quarterback, Brock Purdy, played so composed. How was he able to do that today?
Yeah, I know you asked a question about Brock, and I think just so proud of him. You know, I think, again, continues to play at a really high level. Lead us.
Lone drive. How significant was that time of possession for you guys?
Yeah, I thought that was really big, and again, those were some big third down conversions. Brock had 2 incredible plays. We were able to run on a converted 3rd and short, and then to be able to capitalize with a touchdown. What a great play by Sean Shaw. And so great job by our group, and I thought that was big.
Congratulations, Coach.
Thank you so much.
Breece Hall with a touchdown run of 75 yards on the first play from scrimmage. He carried it 29 more times tonight. Brock Purdy over 200 yards passing. He was also excellent as Iowa State finally gets the win in Manhattan. 33-20 the final. As K-State, after a 3-0 start, has now dropped 3 in a row. For Rocky Boyman and Tiffany Blackman, I'm Clay Matvick. Hope you enjoyed it. We're now going to send you to the studio. Kevin Connors and Mike Golick Jr. So long, everybody.